Welcome to official week one of the college football season for 2024. We have reached Labor Day weekend. The pools are closing, but now we have a full slate of college football games. Let me help you get situated with what to expect this weekend and how it might affect the rankings. Okay, so I am here on the rankings right now homepage. Here is what we have for projected rankings of the week two projected rankings. That means after all of the week one games are finished, how do we think that the rankings might look like for week two? This is based off machine learning algorithms that have been trained on AP polls dating back, I think, all the way back to 2010. And historically, this is what we are expecting based off the outcomes of the games, what we can see for these rankings. So a couple of things to keep in mind. One, Florida State, after their tough loss in Dublin, is going to drop down, projected into that number 20-21 range right now. They have another game against Boston College this weekend, so assuming that they win, that will keep them back in that territory. If they lose to Boston College, we're probably going to see them completely out of the top 25. A couple of other matchups that are really interesting to watch. LSU and USC, both of their quarterbacks last year got taken in the first round, so we have fresh new quarterbacks. No one really knows what to expect. But as of right now, LSU is projected to beat USC. USC is supposed to drop out of the top 25. LSU jump up a couple points. We'll look at that game here in a second on what that might mean. Everyone else is kind of playing cupcakes, except for Georgia. Georgia's playing Clemson, so that's going to be a good matchup. And Penn State is actually in Morgantown, West Virginia. That's not going to be an easy game in any situation, let alone to start off the season. We also see Miami is a 4-point favorite. Let's see. Let's find Miami. Miami is a 4-point favorite right now against Florida. In Florida, that's another tough game that could probably go either way. So we have a couple of situations that we might want to see. Let's go ahead and jump into the what if simulation tool. If I can zoom out a little bit. There we go. So we're going to go to the what if simulation tool. The what if simulation tool, for those of you who are new, lets you change the outcome of any game and see how it might affect the rankings. So for example, we have that Miami game. Miami is projected to win. Let me zoom in a little bit. Miami is projected to win that game. Let's go ahead and go to the week one rankings. We'll change that Miami game, and let's flip it. Let's say Miami has 25, Florida ends up with 29. We hit confirm. We'll see that the game is highlighted in blue, which means it's been altered. You can also see up here at the very top, when you look at altered week games, it gives you that information just as a reminder of the games that you actually have altered for that simulation. Click on run simulation. And then if we go back down, we now see that Miami is dropping completely out of the top 25. It doesn't look like Florida actually sneaks into the top 25, but if we wanted to actually see what that might be, you can click on the top 25 teams, reset it to all teams, and then we can there it is. Florida jumps up to number 38. It's week two projections. These are really hard. We don't know anything. So they might be in the top 25 if they beat Miami. They might creep in a little bit closer to that top 25 territory, but really tough to say right now this early in the season, but this is what our algorithms are telling us at the moment. So let's go ahead and go to the top 25 teams. Okay, we also have, I can reset all these scores, run simulation, and this brings me back to what we would see on the homepage. This is what we have for projected scores for this week. Now, one of the trickier ones right now is number 7 Notre Dame and number 20 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is actually favored at home for this game. If Texas A&M if Notre Dame can actually win this game, let's say it's actually 24-17, and we confirm that, and we can also do multiple games at once. And let's say LSU has an upset at home, and let's say we'll call this 30 to 30. We'll do 30 to 27. Confirm. We'll leave that Georgia State, Georgia Tech game alone, and we'll go ahead and run the simulation. We are now looking at a completely static 1 through 9. No one really moves around. Notre Dame wins, Penn State wins, Michigan wins. everyone's kind of playing cupcakes right now. It's not there's not a lot of movement up top. The only one that's going to become a top 10 team is Missouri. Missouri is going to sneak in the top 10 because Florida State will have dropped out. So that's kind of what we're seeing. There's not a lot of movement that can happen up top, but based off what we just simulated, LSU can drop from 13 to 19, and LSU is playing USC, and USC becomes a top 15 team if they can upset LSU at home. I think that's totally reasonable. The other one that we altered was, it was Notre Dame. Right, so if Notre Dame wins and USC beats LSU, this is what we can expect out of these top 25 rankings. That's the fun about rankings right now. That's what makes it so interesting and useful, and this will only get more accurate as the season goes on because it's more data to train on, more realistic outcomes because we know more about these teams. We know their records. We know how matchups have happened in the past season. So this is a good starting point, but it's going to get more exciting as the year goes on. Okay, great. Enjoy your long weekend. Have fun watching some football and follow along on all of our social media accounts. You can find them on rankingsrightnow.com/follow us, I want to say. Thank you so much for watching, and let's have some fun with some football.